Has always been about survival. We made the primitive hut by Lager to protect ourselves from the rain, the wind, and more we created an indoor climate cut off from the biosphere. So it's something you have to think about. So we spend 80% of our times in volumes that are not related to the biosphere, while the air we breathe is produced by the biosphere. So we thought, in a situation of the climate crisis in which we are in, can we rethink architecture? Can we rethink the relationship between architecture and nature? And so what we're trying to do here is we see the building as its own biosphere. We bring 400 plants inside the building, and these plants produce purified air, but they also cool down the temperature. So the plants become, in a sense, a production of their own microclimate in the building. It's also about finding a new equilibrium between plants and buildings, and at the same time thinking of how to live together. How can architecture allow us to survive in a heating planet, but it can also help plants survive. So it's really rethinking, I would say, the relationship between us, architecture, plants and animals. That's really the philosophical question behind the pavilion.
And how did the collaboration with Stefano Mancuso started?
So I went to visit Stefano Mancuso in his laboratorium in 2016 when I was a curator of the Biennale of Architecture of Bordeaux. And we started a friendship and a discussion now for 10 years because I was so interested by his plant intelligence that he was discovering, that I was thinking, as a landscape architect, how can I use that in my design? And thanks to this discussion, but also discussion with Emanuele Coccia, another Italian philosopher, we've been imagining new types of landscape. For example, in Arles, in the south of France, but also the project we're doing in Notre Dame, we're trying to use the latest knowledge of plant intelligence to make new landscapes. And so here the same thing, this idea of understanding the building as a microclimate. We looked at all the data to understand that it's quite close to the understory of a subtropical forest. Understory because the building is making like a canopy of leaves. Understory because we are below the leaves. And so we brought these trees from the subtropical forest inside the pavilion to produce this indoor climate.
Is this related somehow also to the work you do with your own studio?
With my office, we try to see every project as a prototype. Again, the challenges we're facing with the climate crisis are really enormous, so we think every project should be part of the solution. I was referencing Arles, where we changed the climate of an industrial wasteland into a Mediterranean climate through the help of 80,000 plants. In the Pavilion Notre Dame, we're using all the parameters of outdoor comfort to reduce the perceived temperature. And the same here, we're using the event of the biennial to do real-time testing. This is really a prototype, a laboratorium, inventing this climate machine in a sense.
And since Carlo Ratti asked for a circular way of course, discharge of the material and what you used for the pavilion.
Already many people that came to me to ask if they could take over the prototype in their place. So we're looking at an institution that would like to take these plans and continue the tests. I must say we tested them already 6 months in Ghent, the University of Ghent. So now 6 months in Venice, and so I hope we can continue the testing in different conditions. And the aim is really to build this on a larger scale. This is a prototype. I think in an airport, a university building or hospital, we could make this prototype on a larger scale.